Trump signs executive order denying asylum to illegal border crossers.
Here's a summary of the article.
Washington – President Donald Trump on Friday invoked extraordinary national security powers to deny asylum to migrants who enter the country illegally, tightening the border as caravans of Central Americans slowly approach the United States. The measures are meant to funnel asylum seekers through official border crossings for speedy rulings, officials said, instead of having them try to circumvent such crossings on the nearly 2,000-mile border. U.S. law specifically allows individuals to apply for asylum whether or not they are at a port of entry. It is illegal to circumvent that by agency or presidential decree, he said. The administration has long said immigration officials are drowning in asylum cases partly because people falsely claim asylum and then live in the U.S. with work permits. The asylum section of the Immigration and Nationality Act says a migrant is allowed to make a claim up to a year after arriving in the U.S., and it doesn't matter how they arrive, illegally or through a border crossing. Trump has long said those seeking asylum should come through legal ports of entry. Officials have turned away asylum seekers at border crossings because of overcrowding, telling them to return later.
This post received a score of 49,419, with an upvote ratio of 86%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Migrants who cross illegally are generally arrested and often seek asylum or some other form of protection. Claims have spiked in recent years, and there is a backlog of more than 800,000 cases pending in immigration court. Generally, only about 20% of applicants are approved. Officials have turned away asylum seekers at border crossings because of overcrowding, telling them to return later. Backlogs have become especially bad in recent months at crossings in California, Arizona and Texas, with some people waiting 5 weeks to try to claim asylum at San Diego's main crossing.
Send to me that the solution is to just better equip the border to process the applicants coming in. How many millions of dollars were we going to spend sending thousands of soldiers to the border? How many millions are we going to spend fighting and losing the inevitable court case in response to this move? How much could we improve the backlog if we just spent all that money there, instead?
I worked for DHS processing backlogged immigrant applications. I can tell you with 100% certainty that the people they hire to handle these cases are borderline retarded. I quit on January 20 when Trump got in because he put a hiring freeze on the federal side and I was technically a contractor.
This will work for most government jobs, I'm afraid. When they leave, or when the government decides to hire, they reduce the qualifications for potential new employees, because they know no one with a remotely advanced degree will want the job. I once worked with someone on a state level who handled around 300 cases a year in their department. The new people who came in would last maybe about a year or two, lasting just long enough to screw everything up and take up valuable time getting trained.
It's a fucking joke and a half. Some of us actually like working government jobs. It fulfills a sort of civic duty. We take a lot of shit, get called lazy and moochers by some, but we honestly want to make things run better.
Oh yeah, I posted a few days ago in another thread. As a government worker, too, on the state level, I can set my watch by when a Republican governor comes in. We're all told we suck, we get paid too much, and we're not essential, so we're going to get cut.
They wouldn't last a day in a real company. If they were any good they'd be in the private sector. And they're totally overpaid. Unbelievable. D. Trump, 2015. That's the man that asked for me to vote for him to be my boss.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.